Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming in and sit on down because today we're talking about internet trends or challenges or whatever. Internet trends are something that has existed since the beginning of time on the internet. And recently there's one that's been popping up that's been drawing a lot of attention, and especially a lot of you have been talking about it as well. Galaxy Gas. And if you don't know what Galaxy Gas is, it's a brand that sells whipped cream dispensers and chargers for culinary purposes. Basically, it's a nitrous oxide delivery tool used to make flavored whipped creams and drinks. It's a way to do whippets, okay? And if you don't know what whippets are, it's just getting high off of nitrous oxide. You might have seen that one Steve-O documentary where he's basically a nightmare incarnate, but whippets, small little high.
Oop, euphoric feeling. Guess what? I'm in another world, and then you're
back in reality. Oop, there goes gravity.
Alright, let's see, man. I'm from the whip. Down the street.
But this year, a meme was born from a TikTok where a man that goes by Lil T inhales nitrous oxide directly from a giant Galaxy Gas tank before telling the camera where he's from with an incredibly deep voice. Now, let me tell you, the Galaxy Gas tank is giant. I mean, it looks like a Coleman's thermos, like a giant thermos. It's absolutely. The regular Whippet containers are like, this big, and the Galaxy Gas thing is huge. I don't know how the hell this is legal. But this video, as well as the soundbite, started to go viral, which introduced lots of people to Galaxy Gas products, which coincidentally enough, let me tell you, has so many delicious looking flavors. I mean, my fat ass is looking at strawberry cream and tropic or fruit punch and all that shit. And I'm like, where's my euphoric feeling at? You know what I mean? But this recent explosion of people sucking nitrous oxide of Galaxy Gas, which I gotta say, do not do that, made me think about all of the crazy internet trends that happen. Trends or challenges that occur, all for people to just likes, notoriety, I guess? I'm not sure. But today, I just wanted to go over all of the kind of crazy and weird internet trends throughout history. Let's dive deep back into our brains and remember some of the awful shit that has slipped by with time.
Today's video is sponsored by Magic Spoon, reinventing your childhood one bite at a time. Magic Spoon is a perfect fit for a variety of diets because it has high protein and no sugar. And while you're feeling good about what you're eating, Magic Spoon also has flavors you loved growing up, such as cinnamon roll, fruity, cocoa, peanut butter, and birthday cake. Enjoy all these tasty flavors in grain-free, gluten-free, and keto-friendly bites, plus 13 grams of protein. And now, Magic Spoon has treats! These high-protein bars are crispy, crunchy, and completely guilt-free. They have the perfect snack to have in the morning, and I like to rip into one right before a workout. Can you tell? Featuring the flavors of marshmallow, chocolatey peanut butter, double chocolate, and blueberry muffin, and each bar has 12 grams of protein, only 1 gram of sugar, and 2 grams of beautiful carbs. Why don't you treat yourself? Use my code PAPAMEAT or click the link in the description to try Magic Spoon cereal or treat today and get $5 off. You can also find Magic Spoon on Amazon and a grocery store near you. Magic Spoon comes with a 100% happiness guarantee online. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. So click the link in the description or go to magicspoon.com/papameat for $5 off your purchase. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring the video, and back to the video.
First off, we gotta start with a home run hitter, guys. We gotta start off with planking. Does anybody remember planking? I feel like a lot of these, I'm gonna say things and it's gonna turn on a light switch in your brain and you're gonna be like, my God, I haven't thought about that in years. But if you don't remember what planking is a fun internet trend that was popular, I feel like around like 2011, which the objective of planking, this is gonna sound, my God. The objective of planking would be you would lay face down with your hands at your sides to resemble a plank of wood. But the whole kicker is that you're doing it in places where you shouldn't be doing it. Because I guess doing it inside doesn't work. People are like, okay, you're laying down. But then people would be like on sidewalks or handlebars or on top of buildings. I'm not sure why this trend caught on, but goddamn did it ever. I would say the objective was for people to find the most ridiculous places to plank and to have someone take a picture of it for street cred. You and your boys hitting the streets being like, yo, look at what I just planked. All right, hit me with them digits, bitch, right? But did you know it was invented in 1997 when a group of bored kids from Australia played the game to amuse each other? They called it the lying down game. For some reason, when I hear lying down game, it feels like just death. I don't know why. It's the lying down game. Go on, go into the thicket and lie down. Years later, in 2007, the same Australian lads created a Facebook group to urge people to join in to see who could post the craziest planking photo or the craziest lie down game photo. After the trend started receiving news coverage, it exploded to worldwide trend. You'd see reference on morning shows and even shows like The Office when that show was downhill. It was going downhill fast. My God, why did they put the planking in The Office? It doesn't matter. It all seemed to be in good fun, but it was not without a few horror stories, because in 2011, 20-year-old Acton Beale fell 7 stories while planking on a high-rise balcony, leading to his untimely death. I'm laughing. I don't feel good about laughing, but the idea of a person planking and being like, take the shot, and falling 7 stories does get me to giggle a little bit.
He's the first planker in Australia to die from the high-risk activity.
Acton Beale plunged to his death at about 4:30 this morning at Kangaroo Point, planking on the railing of a unit balcony 7 stories high.
It was the entire time I was watching this news broadcast, the only thing I could think was, goddamn, what a great place to plank. But by the end of 2012, it had died out. But I do think it is an early internet reminder of the lengths people will go just for a little internet notoriety. You know, people are talking about galaxy gas. It's like, remember when people pretended to be wood and they'd fall off buildings to their death? Yeah, people are gonna get high. Galaxy gas, my ass, dude. I'll tell you what, dude, galaxy gas, man, I bet that shit tastes good. I think that, you know what? Go ahead. You know, I'll try it. I just get horribly addicted to galaxy gas like immediately. Or how about we move on to our next internet trend, which was Chubby Bunny. Do you guys remember Chubby Bunny at all? I feel like no one really remembers this one. Chubby Bunny is a seemingly innocent game where each participant places marshmallows in their mouth and they say the phrase, Chubby Bunny.
Chubby Bunny.
Chubby Bunny.
You're drooling and shit. You got marshmallows popping out of your mouth, and people are probably recording you being like, dude, you sound so fucking weird. Well, in 1999, Catherine, a 12-year-old girl, died choking on 4 marshmallows while playing the innocent game at an elementary school fair. Let me tell you something. I'm not making light of this at all right? Horrible thing that happened. 4 marshmallows does not seem like enough to warrant the ending of a life. Okay, I just want to put that out there. I'm not even smiling, all right? Not joking about it. I'm just saying 4 marshmallows, not laughing. The 4 marshmallows does not seem, even if they were big marshmallows, it doesn't matter. How about we move on to gallon smashing? Remember gallon smashing? While planking and Chubby Bunny were fairly harmless, this is where we start kind of, we're tipping into the gas, dude. We're hitting that galaxy gas just a little bit because gallon smashing trend, this is where we start dipping our toes and with the public. The trend started in 2013 when a channel known as the Chazy Channel posted a prank video where they would grab milk jugs and purposely fall down and slam them onto the ground, and the milk jugs would just explode everywhere. Granted, I did laugh. I remember when I was younger, I did laugh a little bit the first time I saw it, but then you start feeling bad because bystanders would come and try to help them, and then they would comically slip and fall like a goddamn Buster Keaton movie, and they would fall down in their own milk. But the original video of the gallon smashing trend amassed over 40 million views and spawned a spew of copycat pranksters, eventually making the news. One copycat incident in New Jersey led to 3 arrests as the prank caused over $500 in damaged merchandise, and they were ultimately charged with criminal mischief for knowingly damaging someone else's property and endangering others. How much milk is enough, dude? $500? And then I feel like the gallon smashing thing leads us well into, I guess, eating related challenges of the internet and trends that have happened. Some of the most popular types of trends back in the day were challenges involving people ingesting things that are just not meant to go into a human body or are just terrible for you. You've heard of classics like the cinnamon challenge, right? Where you're trying to raw dog a spoonful of cinnamon, you choke on it like a goddamn Neanderthal, spit it up, and everyone's like, oh my God, you're choking. And you're like, your eyes are all watered. I did that once. I actually thought I was going to choke to death. PTSD, I'm not going to go into it. Some of these challenges were fairly innocent, but others were just straight up putting people in the hospital, which you got to look no further than our very infamous, oh, let me shine off that little gold plaque here. This is a legendary one, the Tide Pod Challenge. Everybody remembers the Tide Pod Challenge because after this internet trend happened, it was like buying Tide Pods was like buying a goddamn gun from Walmart. They were behind security glass. Pretty sure you had to press a button to alert somebody so they can unlock it. They're like, who are you? What do you want with this? Your clothes look clean. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here. In 2018, for an entire year, kids were popping Tide Pods into their mouth like they were goddamn lifesavers, dude. It was unhinged. I can't believe this is real still. It got so bad that the American Association of Poison Control Centers reported that 86 intentional exposures to laundry detergent packets were reported within the first 3 weeks of 2018. It kicked off 2018 like a madman. The level of mystery that must have been like the guy in charge is just like, what the fuck is going on with these Tide Pods? Get Tide on the phone. It got so bad that even Tide, in response to children biting into these products and poisoning themselves, it got so bad that they had to partner with the ever popular American football player Rob Gronkowski and had him issue a message for Tide.
What the heck is going on, people? Use Tide Pods for washing, not eating.
So they would listen, because people aren't going to listen to Tide. They're going to say, shut up and make those delicious packets. Getting Rob Gronkowski called. Are you kidding me? What about Baby Gronk, dude? Don't put that in. That I wanted to kill myself. Or we can dip a little more obscure, right? This one's gonna tickle your taste buds just a little bit, huh? In 2017, there was NyQuil chicken. Okay, now we're getting to the point where even myself, I'm thinking, does this even warrant an internet trend? I'm not sure if you can classify this as a trend, if it's just a couple people from 4chan doing something, but we're gonna talk about it anyways because it feels like it's in tandem with Tide Pods, okay? In 2017, there was NyQuil chicken. After a viral 4chan post detailing the creation of the NyQuil infused chicken, or sleepy time chicken, blew up all across Twitter, all right? People were adamant. They had to find out the source to the sleepy time chicken. The FDA had to make a statement about it, alerting people that boiling a medication can make it much more concentrated and potentially dangerous, and the fumes alone could damage your lungs. People are making beautiful pieces of chicken out there, all right? I don't want to put anybody down for their culinary habits, dude. Not everybody can be a Joshua Wiseman, all right? Sometimes you got to make do. If you like the little tangy taste of NyQuil and want to infuse it in your chicken, God bless you, but there will be repercussions. Which, there's other food related ones, such as the corn cob challenge, which is just, it looks so painful. You just put a corn cob on a power drill, put it at full blast, and you try to eat it, and it just rips teeth out of your mouth. That you got to be a special kind of person to participate in that. I don't know who the hell actively wants to participate in that, but here we are. We move on to some of the trends that happen in state schools. We don't talk enough about state schools and how vile and dumb they are, right? People who go to state schools, not the brightest bunches. A lot of business majors is all I gotta say. Among college kids, the Borg, or also commonly known as the Blackout Rage Gallon, became a huge hit. Y'all was planning on doing that trend, the Blackout Rage Gallon. Did you guys want to participate in the Blackout Rage Gallon? Which a Borg is essentially a gallon-sized jug filled with water, a fifth of any of your favorite alcohols, usually vodka, for what I found online, water-flavored enhancers, and electrolyte powder. Some people claim that the goal of the Borg was to avoid having drinks getting spiked after a long day of partying and to avoid catching germs like COVID from drink sharing, right? You want to have your Borg to yourself. You don't want to be swapping spit with somebody, getting the new scary virus, right? This is my Borg, right? I'm staying hydrated. I got the electrolyte powder inside of it. People online seem to be having a good time. Why can't I be having a good time, right? At the University of Massachusetts Amherst, college students were celebrating the annual Blarney Blowout celebration that took place around St. Patrick's Day, and everyone at this event at the Blarney Blowout was equipped with their homemade Borgs. It was a goddamn Borg massacre, dude. And in a single weekend, this is actually crazy. In a single weekend, 46 students were hospitalized due to near fatal amounts of alcohol being consumed. Now, who would have thought that the Blackout Rage Gallon would have been sending these little Massachusettsians straight to the hospital. 46 in a single weekend. People are so fucking stupid. Which, let's move to something more recent, like in 2023, with the Benadryl challenge. Now, see, this is my kind of challenge, dude. If we're swapping pharmaceuticals in Grandpa's medicine cabinet, now we're kind of tap dancing to my speed here, huh? People found out that after hearing that if you ingest 12 to 14 tablets of Benadryl, you could supposedly induce hallucinations. Kids all over TikTok were racing to their parents' medicine cabinet just because someone said, hey, if you take 12 to 14 Benadryl tablets, you'll see God. And people were like, I have to do that. And in one case of the Benadryl challenge, it did take the life of a 13-year-old boy named Jacob Howard Stevens. It's one of those sayings where you just don't know who's going to be influenced by these goddamn challenges, dude. I've had some friends when I was younger pop pills and shit, scared the fuck out of me. All right, they're like, come on, man, just take it. I was like, I don't know. That pill was Adderall. I didn't even take Adderall, dude. I was too afraid to do that. Let's get out of ingesting things, though, right? Let's go to media. Media plays a big part in memes, but it also plays a big part in our next challenge. Do you remember the Bird Box challenge? You probably were like, holy shit, I haven't thought of. Remember how popular the Bird Box movie was? Out of nowhere. The movie was okay, all right? It was fine. Which, if you don't remember, it's a 2018 horror thriller starring Sandra Bullock, and the whole movie is basically it's Sandra Bullock trying to survive a world overrun by mysterious entities that cause people who look at them to take their own life. And because of this, the characters in the movie often wear the blindfolds as they, walk around outside because they don't want to, Soon, people created a viral challenge where they blindfold themselves while wandering the outside world to do various tasks. And in one case, a content creator did this challenge for 24 hours straight, and it resulted in horrible accidents. A 17-year-old girl caused a 2-car crash after pulling a beanie over her eyes and quickly smashing into another driver, a light pole, and a sound barrier. It's a Bird Box challenge. Did you like that? Eventually, even Netflix came forward to make a statement saying, can't believe I have to say this, but please do not hurt yourselves with this Bird Box challenge. We don't know who started this, and we appreciate the love, but boy and girl have just one wish for 2019, and it is that you do not end up in the hospital due to memes, which The f, dude, Netflix, are you kidding me? How about you lower the membership back down to $7.99, you greedy f. $24.99 for 10 seasons of Big Mouth? Some people, I feel like a lot of things that we've talked about so far are people who are doing stuff and be like, look, I'm doing it, I don't know. But sometimes you don't realize that people can get easily manipulated to be just a pawn in somebody's little sadistic game. For example, the salt challenge, which was a TikTok trend where people would simply film themselves pouring salt directly down their throat for several seconds, and children were essentially inducing strokes on themselves for clout, all right? Pouring salt directly in your throat. It's so stupid, dude. Why? And there was even, to stay on the salt theme for a second, there was also the salt and ice challenge, which involves pouring salt on your body, followed by ice, and the mixture soaks up heat from surrounding skin cells, which essentially leads to 2nd or 3rd degree burns from frostbite. Self-induced frostbite. Chemical warfare on yourself, okay? All just because you're like, dude, I saw this trend online. I gotta try this challenge, okay? This combination of salt and ice could get as cold as negative 18 degrees Celsius, okay? And in Pittsburgh, a 12-year-old boy attempting the challenge on his back, and he suffered blistering 2nd degree burns on his back and had to spend weeks recovering from the entire debacle that he put himself in. Just tore his back up. It's gruesome, dude. Or in 2020, a challenge on TikTok called the Skull Breaker Challenge, which surprisingly put a lot of its participants in the ICU. I know, it seems odd for a little challenge called the Skull Breaker. The Skull Breaker Challenge is when 2 people kick the legs from under a 3rd unsuspecting participant, making them fall over. A 13-year-old from Massachusetts was hospitalized after being briefly paralyzed due to the deadly challenge. Briefly paralyzed! Just because, we booped your head. Was that funny? We saw it on TikTok. I thought it was hilarious on TikTok. Dude, you gotta see some of it. It's so funny. Watch this dance. Let's move down a little more, which is the Orbeez challenge. Now, this is where, you remember the gallon challenge? We were at a place where it's public nuisance. Yeah, a guy has to clean up milk. It's annoying. But at the end of the day, hopefully nobody's getting hurt. That wasn't the intention. We're gonna keep going down the rabbit hole a bit more of where this is just mindless, evil torture on people. And this is labeled the Orbeez challenge, which is just assault. It involves freezing Orbeez, which are water absorbent beads, and loading them into an airsoft rifle to enact drive-by shootings on strangers. Remember that silly video of Mr. Mr. Beast when he fills up the pool with those Orbeez. So funny. We should put those in a freezer, load them into an airsoft gun, and just pelt people who are just walking around. Would that be funny? Say it's funny. And in Florida, a 19-year-old boy from Deltona was arrested for shooting an Amazon delivery driver, hitting his glasses and neck. That's funny, dude. Mr. Beast might fly us out. We could do an Orbeez challenge with it. That'd be so fun. The same man also targeted random adults as well as a 10-year-old child who was shot in the face and chest. And the pictures here, it makes me so mad, dude. People who do this kind of stuff makes me think, I just think you should take them. You should be like, you know what? This was wrong what you did. And then you take a hammer. And you say, see what you did? See how silly this was? Wasn't this a silly thing to do? Which, to go even further from that, we're going to go to the last challenge I want to talk about today, or the trend, and it is probably the most severe. It's definitely, I think, regarded as the darkest internet trend that I can, at least that I found or that I can think of, which is the Blue Whale Challenge. Which the Blue Whale Challenge is known as one of the darkest trends in internet history. It became an online phenomenon starting in 2016 and claimed to exist in several countries around the world. Blue Whale was an online group that would seek out young participants and give them 50 tasks spread over 50 days, with the end goal being to take their own life. A list of the challenges had surfaced online that were translated from Russian. So from Russian to English here, which one of the challenges, the curator said, carve a whale on your hand with a razor and send photo to curator. Poke your hand with a needle many times. Watch psychedelic and horror videos all day. I know some people are like, awesome. This phenomenon began in 2015 when a Russian woman named Rina Palenkova went viral after she posted a photo of herself next to a train before taking her own life by jumping in front of it, which the post simply read Nia Bai, but it's just to think that this photo, it has just it's just haunting. This image is just so haunting. Between 2016 and 2018, arrests were finally made, and these are some of the people that were arrested. The first one up was Philip Budikin. In November of 2016, 21-year-old Philip Budikin was arrested and charged with inciting teenagers to suicide. Fucking monster. Or you have Ila Sidorov. In 2017, the Russian postman was also arrested after admitting that there was 32 children in his group page. It is not known if the Blue Whale group is still around or if it continues under a different username under internet circles. You'd have to imagine that's just not vanished, but such a crazy thing of just a weird part of 2016 to 2018 where people were just psychologically messing with people. Which brings me to my closing remarks here. Internet trends are all good and fun, you know? If you want to be a part, people I think like to participate in internet trends because it's a way to connect with others and to feel like you're a part of something. People just want to feel a part of something. They want to feel like they're heard, that they're appreciated in certain things. But there's just times where you push things too far, you get a little needy maybe. You need more attention. You need to push it farther from other people. And sometimes I think you need to just realize that with other people, doing things that are going to harm yourself are just little specks of attention you get in the moment that inevitably always ruin other people's time, day, lives even. All I have to say is this. Participate in fun internet trends, be a part of fun communities that don't hurt others, that don't belittle anybody else, and most importantly, look after yourself and look after other people. And by God, be safe out there. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. And they would fall down in their own milk. And then then even I've aged, I was like, you know, I was a little young. I was like, milk everywhere. And then I aged 60 years right then. And I was like, oh, but think of the people who have to clean this up. These kids, why do they do these things? Oh, look at all this spilt dairy. Oh, think of the children.